Welcome to Inspired Living with Keri Murphy, the podcast, where as your host each and every week, I am going to inspire you and empower you to share your message and step into that big vision you see for yourself. I'll be bringing you celebrity interviews, influencer insights, and my personal tips from decades as an on-camera talent, TV host, media expert, and entrepreneur, so you can build a brilliant seven-figure brand. Because when you're inspired, you inspire others. So let's go. And just imagine for a minute, you're having a rough day, or maybe you have a special event, or better yet, you have that hot date that you're so looking forward to, and you want to look and feel your best. Now, imagine you could just go to your phone with an Uber-type app, and within minutes, your natural glam squad is there to make you look amazing with products that are toxin-free, good for the environment, and won't hurt your face. Well, today I am so thrilled to bring you this rock star of a woman, Dr. Jacqueline Schaffer, who is the mastermind and the creator of Natural Glam. Jacqueline, welcome.
Thank you, Keri.
I'm so happy to sit down with you. I say this with all the respect in the world, you're like a Doogie Howser meets Jessica Simpson meets Legally Blonde.
I love it.
Because I think that people underestimate you, but we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
You started medical school at 19.
Yes, this is correct.
So again, underestimated, right? And can't wait for you to talk about Natural Glam and what that is, but let's hear a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about your extraordinary story, because it is phenomenal.
Sure. So I went to medical school at 19, and during this journey, unfortunately, I got unfortunate news about my mother, who was diagnosed with skin cancer, not once, but twice. And through that unfortunate situation, I learned a lot about toxic ingredients. And because I had the medical background, I was able to go deeper and deeper and learn so much of what goes on our skin, which is the largest organ. And so that kind of started my pivotal movement into learning about business and, really about skincare and the full wellness that goes on person every single day, which is your products.
Right.
Every single day.
We were talking about, skin. People think about their skin all the time, but you don't think about your makeup as often. So let's go back.
Okay.
Medical school at 19.
Yes.
Why?
Well, I come from a family of doctors. And so it was just basically kind of setting the path for me to the best thing you can do is really help others. And what better way through medicine. And so.
Did you feel pressure? Because I feel like a lot of young people watch kind of their families go down a certain road. Yeah. And you start saying, well, of course, that has to be the road I have to go down too.
Yes, I think that's all I knew too.
Sure.
And so when you're around that type of environment for so long, you think, well, that's what my family does. That's what I have to do.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
And so I did go down that path. And then also, along with my mom having that unfortunate incident, I learned that, yes, I love medicine, but what comes to me naturally is business. I love it. I love helping women in that avenue.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So was it hard for you to walk away once you put all that time and energy? Because again, I'm saying this for you, but for all of the incredible people watching who are saying, but I went to college for this, or I started this, I can't leave.
Oh my gosh. Okay. First of all, I want to say that's not true at all. You can change your career at any time, any age. It doesn't matter how much you put in. You can. It's possible for anyone. And sometimes it is scary, but really if this is a market that you love and you feel compelled to do, you're going to thrive and everything else is going to fall into place.
Yeah. It sounds like you were really good early on at listening to your intuition.
Thank you.
Were you, or is this just hindsight?
It's like hindsight. I want to say yes and no. It's funny because actually when I was 14, I wanted to go more into business. And it was kind of like, well, you have to become a doctor first and then you can do whatever you want, which I guess I kind of did live up to that. I was like, okay, fine. But I think it's just, your family only wants the best for you. And only know what they know.
Yeah.
And so it's out of a protection that they think is best, but it's not normally best for the individual.
And I think especially as entrepreneurs or those of us that have that like business sense and that drive.
Yes.
It's not the norm, and it's not for everyone. And so for most people, it's very scary, and friends and family, they do just want to protect you. So they're saying things like, are you crazy? Stay in your day job, or gosh, you know, you got your degree, you're a doctor now. Like, why would you ever leave that? But that's where you get to like trust yourself too.
Yes, absolutely. And also too, I was not happy with how the whole medical world is today. That's just my personal opinion. And I don't really like what's happening. And so for me, it's just doing a disservice to what I believe in.
Right.
So, so I'm happy that I pivot.
So your mom was diagnosed with skin cancer, and then you became really passionate about skincare.
Yes.
And that was your first endeavor into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And it was incredibly successful. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So, oh my gosh, I'll never forget. I started that in my 20s.
No background, no experience.
Literally no background. And okay, this is a testament that you can read Business Insider, Inc. magazine, they'll tell you doctors are the worst business, people and stuff, like owners and stuff. And I have to tell you, making that transition to having to think differently with no real support system, because my family was just in the whole medical world. What is this?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? Yes. Right. And so I remember sitting at my mom's dining room table and just starting to figure it out, and I just learned if I start researching, one led to another. And the great news is that it did grow very, very successfully. I did the QVCs of The World, TVSN, and I got into 300 stores, Macy's. It was great. It was amazing.
Jacqueline, I love this so much because there are millions of people throughout the world that have an idea.
Yes.
And it could be the next greatest thing. Mm-hmm. But because of fear or lack of know-how, they never even try. And the fact that in your 20s, it is so great to be naive, right? Yeah. If we knew what we knew, we probably would not do. You know what I mean? What I mean?
It is so true.
And that's what makes it so fun and so challenging is that we don't know, but you figured it out. And then how did you pivot out of that to start Natural Glam? Yes. Was that a natural pivot for you?
So natural. It's so funny. I didn't realize that, I believe in God, that God was building me up to something that I was truly believe I was destined to do, which is Natural Glam. Natural Glam is such the bigger picture. How I got into pivoting to that was I was doing shows like your wonderful show like this, and I was getting my hair and makeup done. And then I started to break out. My hair was getting more brittle. It was just not good, especially when you have fine hair. Not fun. No. And so I was like, well, I got the skincare down, but what about the hair and makeup? And it's unbelievable. The average woman before she leaves her home exposes herself to over 200 chemicals. And
okay, wait a second. 200 chemicals.
200 chemicals.
Before we leave our home.
Before you even leave your home. We're talking about the ecosystem and our emissions and smoke and all in our environment.
Everything else that's out there.
Exactly. And so it's just really scary because you wear makeup all day and you have hair care product, in your hair all day as well. And it's all keratin. It's just crazy. And so you want to be as mindful as you can because this is the only body you have to live in.
Yes. And that's why when you were telling me about Natural Glam, and we hand select people to bring on this show. And I love not only your story and the powerhouse that you are, but also your commitment to helping women, society, the planet live better, feel better.
Yes.
And it's that's what inspired living is, And so I love Natural Glam. So let's talk a little bit about what is Natural Glam and how do we access it?
Absolutely. So Natural Glam is a clean, on-demand beauty service.
I mean, what else could you ask for? Clean, on-demand beauty services.
So currently right now we do hair and makeup, and it's just with the touch of a button. It's just like Uber. You need a car, boom, it's there. You need food, you click Postmates. You need hair and makeup, boom,
bada bing,
right
bada
there.
Boom. Yeah.
Right there. And so it's as simple as that. It's just pushing a button, and we're there to service you and make you feel your most beautiful self the healthy way. And also too, what's really nice about our platform too, is not just beauty services. We're giving a voice to beauty owners of skincare, makeup, and hair care. I wouldn't have a voice. They couldn't just walk into a Sephora and get recognized and stuff. We are giving them a platform to sell their products as well, because what better way in literally supporting the clean movement and the women movement by giving them a voice. And so they can have a distribution channel, and also as a safety net for the consumers, a place they can go to purchase clean products that they trust.
Yes.
So
yes. And
really
I love that. You really kind of brought it all together, and you're a curator of products. It's not just one product line.
Correct. So we invite the clean, natural brands on our platform so that the consumer has many options, and there's excitement because there's always a new brand that's going to be on the platform that we get to highlight. And then also there's another really cool part to Natural Glam too. We're also supporting the stylist as well to clean their kits, because they don't always have a place to go where they can have several options of different brands for them to purchase. So they have that option also on Natural Glam.
It is so great. So we can just go to our apps in our phones and download Natural Glam today, right now.
Correct. Yes.
And you're going to be rolling it out in multiple cities.
Correct.
Is your goal to stay in the U.S.? Tell me what your vision is for it.
Yes. No, we're excited. So it's not just going to be the U.S. It's going to be Canada, and Dubai actually is been asking for us to expand there, and we couldn't be more happier.
Yeah, it's a great place to do that.
Yeah, we're very excited. And then England.
Wow.
So
I'm so excited for you. I am absolutely going to be using Natural Glam for all of my things because, again, we don't think about what we put on our face. We want to look good. We want to feel beautiful. But what is it costing you in the long term? And how is it aging us too? I wonder if it also has an effect on our aging. If we're putting chemicals on our skin, that's got to have some, Dr. Jacqueline, that must have some sort of effect.
It is absolutely terrifying, actually, what the studies have. And also, too, on our website, we describe what toxic ingredients do to your body. You have neurotoxicity. So that's your brain, just really hurting, brain development. It's very dangerous also, too, for reproductive. So it causes infertility issues. Really scary for us women, especially if you're trying to conceive. Thyroid. So sometimes that's part of you getting hypothyroidism, because we're putting makeup on, we're wearing it all day. The list seriously goes on so long that we are able to really educate the consumer of what you're actually putting on your body is alarming you. These are studies done by Harvard, Oxford, reputable sources that, really show that this is the long-term effect of using toxic ingredients.
Thank you. Thank you for creating something like Natural Glam that allows us the accessibility to products that will not just make us look good, but really help us feel good in the long run, because we don't know the long-term effects, right? We know some of them, but we don't know what hasn't been discovered yet.
Correct.
Quick little segue here. We were talking in hair and makeup, speaking of, about women being underestimated in business.
Yes.
Now, Jacqueline, I'm just going to throw it out here, honey. When I first met you, you walked in and I'm like, who is that? Dr. Jacqueline with her own skincare line. She has her makeup line. I can only imagine, first of all, women can judge women horrendously. We can be so horrible. But in this world, you are young, you're beautiful, you're successful, you are driven. Tell me about how have you overcome the stereotype and people who underestimate you?
Well, I love it.
And has it happened? It has to have happened.
Yes, several times. There's so many things I can say about that. But at the end of the day, I love to be loved or hated. Because if I'm in the middle, I am forgotten.
Okay, wait. That is so good. I have to say that again.
Yeah.
So you have to be loved or hated.
Correct.
Because in the middle, you're forgotten.
100%. You will not be relevant. You will disappear. You won't stand the test of time.
So you don't have a problem with people judging you or
I love it.
You're this is great.
I love it. Actually, the more hate I get, the bigger my sales go.
Well, let's talk about that. And girl to girl here. We still have a heart, right?
Yes.
We have an ego. It's gotta hurt.
Yes, it definitely does hurt. And thank goodness I have an amazing family and amazing significant other as well to help me, support me and stay close to God. And I just know that good always prevails.
Yeah.
And
amen, sister. I'm so with you. Yeah. So it's you have to be loved or hated. We can't be in the middle. You can't try to please everyone.
No.
And you just have to know that you are going to be judged, that people will underestimate you. You're going to come up against all sorts of extremes in life and business. What has been that thing? I know you have strong faith in family. Is it the vision? Is it the mission? What keeps you moving forward at the speed of light that you work with?
I guess this is the coolest part I do really have to say about Natural Glam. it's not about me. That is what gives me so much energy. This is about literally women's health. Like, hands down.
Yeah, it's a mission.
It's a mission. I mean, not only are we creating jobs, which is good for your mental health, we're helping your overall health so that you don't get these toxicities in your bodies. It's just such an amazing movement to be a part of. Yeah. And I truly believe when you do something like that, it just flows.
Yeah. And I think that is the key, Jacqueline, is that when you are building a business, you are going to have your setbacks. You're going to have your rough days.
Yes.
And even when I teach people how to be on camera, I'm telling them all the time, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about the person on the other side. It's about you. It's about serving you. It's about connecting. And when you do that, like, the energy comes, you have this tenacity, you have this drive that you don't get when you're thinking about yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
The more, you're thinking about the purpose, the mission, just the right people are going to show up in your life unexpectedly. I tell you, and when you are about the ego, the wrong people are going to show up.
So true. Solid advice. What else would you share with someone who has an idea? Again, maybe they didn't go to medical school, but maybe they feel like they're on a path right now, and it's so scary for them to deviate and move off of that. What would you tell that person?
I would tell that person, one, have faith in yourself, because you are the founder of your company. You are the vision of your company. The company will only last as long as you believe in yourself. Second would be to do a business plan. And trust me, I don't like doing business plans. But yes, you do need a plan. You do need structure. And in that business plan, it's going to have your operations plan, your marketing plan, your sales, the finances. Those do need to be taken into account. It's just like, before they take off on a plane, checking seatbelts on. This is check, check, check. Right. All right. Everybody's
You're not just taking off without a map.
You're not just taking off without exactly. Yes. And you know the destination with where you're going. And I also say this too about doing a business. The hardest part is launch.
Right.
That's it.
Just getting it up off the ground. One more airplane analogy, right? Like most of the fuel rockets is in like the takeoff.
It's in the takeoff.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the air, you'll get some turbulence, but you got this.
Yeah. I like it. You've got this. And yes, you do. And you also have natural glam. So, Jacqueline, again, remind us, first of all, it's an app on their phone.
Correct.
If they want to go to a website, is there a website that they could check out as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you want to book on the website as well, we also take calls, either one. So mobile application, the website, and also calling us as well. We're more than happy to service you.
All right. Perfect. Well, we will make sure the link is here for you and in the show notes. Jacqueline, thank you so much. Thank you, first of all, for having such a mission to serve and for bringing this really amazing one-click beauty app into our lives and for just being the tenacious, driven soul that you are. It's really a pleasure to know you and support you and to get this natural glam out into the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Keri.
And thank you for watching this Spotlight interview. Now, first of all, I know right now you're going to go download that Natural Glam app, but I also want to know, how has this inspired you? Please share your comments, and better yet, take a moment right now and click share on this interview and share it with someone else, because I guarantee you, either you or someone you know has an idea that they're scared to pursue. And maybe hearing from Jacqueline will help them make a better and more inspired decision in their life. Thank you again for watching this interview. And as always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.
You've just heard another uplifting episode of Inspired Living with Keri Murphy, the podcast. I hope you loved it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And if you'd like to know more about Inspired Living or to get your hands on many of our awesome free resources, such as the Be Studio Ready Guide, simply visit us at inspiredliving.tv/podcast. Remember, your vision is your destiny, and we're here to help you bring it to life. Join me again next week for another extraordinary episode.